That's another vendor. They still have some programming to do, and they will work with us and work with you to schedule some time to train on that. They didn't get in and get the programming done. We're kind of backed up with other projects as well, so. But for the meantime, go ahead, Mr. Jones, will take over for the lighting.
Alright. Well,
So,
thanks for coming.
hold on a second, so we won't be able to use it at all until they do the training with us?
Give me a little bit. I'm trying to see if there's somebody else who's gonna show up for this. The engineer's supposed to be here, he's not. I'm trying to figure out where he's at. And then there may be, I don't know what, basically if you plug an HDMI cord in, if it's set up right, you should be able to use it. But I don't know if they've got to that point yet. They've got some of the stuff ran, so I'll have to make some phone calls and find out. So I may not find out this afternoon, but by the end of the week, I should have an answer for you guys. Okay?
But the lighting and sound, it's okay for them to use
The
those.
lighting and the sound, yeah, they can go ahead and use the lighting and sound.
Yeah.
It's just those monitors.
I was able to use that TV there. That one with the keyboard over there. I was able to use that one. I couldn't get that one right.
That one wouldn't come up? Okay.
Well, thanks for coming. So, is anybody familiar with this type of theatrical lighting? I don't know what y'all had in this one before. The other building we were at yesterday had old track lighting.
That's all they have.
That's what they
Yeah.
had.
Okay, so the main difference, outside of the output of the fixture themselves, each one of these are gonna be addressable to their fixture themselves. So they all do whatever you want for that one fixture. You don't have to do them as a whole row. Make sense?
Yep.
So the way we have them programmed in now, and y'all shouldn't have to mess with this unless y'all start moving things around. Address-wise, this starts at 1 and works its way this way. There are 5 channel modes, so there'll be 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, 31. The next row will pick up from that. They skip over that 5 because in your 5 channels that you're programming, you're gonna have intensity on number 1. This is more information than you really need to know, but I want you to know it. Intensity is gonna be on 1, red's gonna be on 2, green's gonna be on 3, blue is gonna be on 4, and strobe is gonna be on 5. The next fixture repeats, the next fixture repeats. That's why there's that gap of 5 between each fixture. If by chance you're up there and you're moving them around and something, and you accidentally hit the little buttons on the back and change the address, it's gonna change how it reacts. Depending on how many numbers you shift over in the address, it could be pretty drastic. You could wind up with a fixture sitting there strobing when it's not supposed to be. If you're not up there moving things around, you don't really need to worry about it. Those addresses match what's already patched and programmed on your little touchscreen. So when we get up there, I'm gonna show you how to patch it. You should not have to repatch it unless you're trying to move things. Pay real close attention to what you're doing if you move things around. We moved things yesterday at the other property just to give them more light out in the front, but we intentionally left all the programming on the back page, which will make sense more like the touchscreen. So that if they move them back for different performance, they're already pre-addressed and ready to go. If everybody wants to head up there, we'll go up there.
Yep.
Okay, I'll stop now. But y'all just don't talk.
So this little touchscreen is the one you guys are gonna be using for the lighting only. This has all your audio and other stuff on it. This is for the lighting. So the lighting system consists of this controller. There's a device in here that splits the signal. There's relays in the top box. The relays are for giving power to each bar, right? You'll have 2 on the front one on this bar and 1 on this bar. So there's 4 little relays inside of here. Those relays correspond to these 4 buttons here. So you'll see it says relay 1, relay 2, relay 3, and relay 4. You'll hear it if I turn one off. And you'll see the lights up in front went off. Right? Those have to be on, but don't freak out by me telling you they have to be on. You can turn them on and on as you want, but as you push these presets that I've already pre-programmed for you, they'll automatically turn on. If your lights aren't on at all, if it's one light, you got a problem with the fixture. If it's the whole row, it's either the relay's been turned off or somebody's unplugged it. They feed each other, so if you're up there on either one of these pipes, the first one's gonna take power from the pipe, the other ones jump off of it. Make sense? Yep. Or whatever. So I've already built you some presets here, and they're pretty simple, and the presets are gonna be the only thing that you guys will re-record if you decide to change your layout of the stage. If you're actually doing a little theater production and you wanna put props up there and use the lights to light the props, you're here. But what they're doing right now, if I hit preset 1, we're gonna have everything going to white up there. It's gonna be like at 50%, maybe a little stronger. This back row is gonna be white, and these 2 in this row on the drape, y'all can see them, those have changed to white. I had them in red before. They're just shining on the drape. Y'all can position them to anything y'all want them to be on, but for right now, I just put them, actually giving you some scenic look on the drape. Okay, so 1 will be that, 2 is gonna be similar, it's just gonna be at a brighter level. 3 again will be similar, but at a brighter level. Then in 4, I think I still leave those at white. 5, I change those to red or blue, I can't see it from here. They're blue, so 6 will change to red, I believe.
Keep it there.
And 7, and you got something to show you how to reprogram it. You can program everything to be there if you want. And I'm not sure what I did in that one. Oh, I think I just turned the drape off and the other stuff stays on. And then 8 is, would be 8, it actually says all off. It is all off, but if y'all wanted to reprogram that, you could program it and use it as a preset. You probably won't need to. All right, we're gonna go back to 1 just so you can see things on. And the presets, you can move them on these pages, but you probably shouldn't. Just remember, whenever you're working with everything, make sure the power is on to the lights. If the power's not on, no matter what you're doing on the faders, which I'm going to show you in a second,
Ms. Garner, come back.
won't make any differences. Somebody need to take that? Does somebody need to take that?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
got it.
I'm gonna step
No, you're good. So the presets page is your first tab. It's also your default. So in 3 minutes, this will turn off. It'll go to a blank screen. If that broke, just walk up. You can wave your hand. It's not going to do anything. Some of ours do. These don't. Just touch it and it'll come back. And it'll come back to this page. Your next page is going to be the house pipe. That's this one out here. So you got all 7 of your faders, and they're in line. If you're going to take this box like that, that's how they're in line, right? So this first one here is going to be the one closest to us. Y'all probably can't see it. I can see it, right? So you can control the level of it, right? You can set them at different levels as your presets go by. So right now, I'm just going to go back to preset 1. I'm going to show you a difference. So on the house pipe, they're all at 75%. They're at 50% on the second pipe, and they are actually at 30% on the back pipe, right? And if you leave them in the preset, they'll stay as this one's indicated that it's still on. If you make a change, that's going to change. So we're going to go to house and just make 1 change. Come back there, you see it went off. That's important to remember when you're recording. When you're recording, make sure you know which one you're actually trying to change. You can completely wipe it out, or you can make whatever changes you want to it, but until you record it, it's not going to be permanent. So if I go back and I push that again, and you come back here, you're going to see that that goes back to where it was set. So remember that if you want to make a change that's a permanent change, make sure you record it. Because if you stop and you walk away and somebody else comes and hits a preset on you, they just erased everything you've just done. So now, here's the next best thing to it is, you don't only have the ability to change levels, you can change your colors, which is how I was doing the drapes. So if you see on each one, there's a little box up on top. You can just tap them and you'll see it gets a little green ring around it. It's kind of hard to see probably from way back there, but they'll get a little green ring around them. As long as it's green around that box, to deselect it, you just hit it. But as long as it's green around that little box, it's actively changeable. So we're going to use, let's say, these 2 outside ones. So you see there's 4 that are green. There's a little teardrop over here with color in it. You go ahead and hit that. It's going to give you a color box. The color position that's in the middle, you can tap it once, it's going to give you this, which you can actually just drag around and change the colors. Find something that you like.
That's cool.
Or you can tap it again and it'll give you chiclets. The chiclets, just select what you want. So there's your red. That's what you want.
Good job.
And you can select all these colors. These, if you know anything about theatrical stuff, this goes back to the old days when they used to put film in front of them. This matches the colors that the companies, either Roscoe or Lee, used to make. You can also use this and dial in any number you want. It's much more harder to deal with. Let's see if I can do it with this and get a little bit better. You're going to see a little green arrow pop up, and you can either raise the number or lower the number, right? And that'll change the level of just those colors. So you get your red, green, and your blue. You can change them. Now again, anything that we're doing right now that we don't want to keep, you can always come back out to your presets, hit the preset we were working in, and it's going to go back. It's going to undo everything we were just doing until we record. Once you record, there's no back button. So make sure you know which preset you're re-recording over and that you actually want to do it. If not, you're gonna have to rebuild that whole page.
So if we
It's not-
record it and then decide we wanna change it, then we just take it back to the preset, then you can re-record, correct?
You'll have to re-record it.
Got it.
And they're free for you guys to make them. Even number 8, that's all off, you can actually make that another preset if you wanted it to be. We usually just try to give somebody an all off, right? And then on your all off, if you re-record anything over it, make sure your power's on when you do your record.
Okay, so one question. I heard you say, don't turn the lights off. So you want them on all the time?
The power can stay on to them all the time. You don't have to, particularly like if you're going away for the weekend. Even the weekend, they can stay powered up over the weekend. But if you're going away for like the whole summer, you can turn them off if you want.
But
The
so
power
like
doesn't.
during the day, keep the lights on?
You don't have to let them burn. The power to them.
Just keep the power,
Yeah.
not the,
So these-
lights
so the
on.
relays-
That's what my
Slow down,
confusion
yeah.
was.
No, you're good.
Okay.
The power buttons on this side are for the relays only. That just turns them off. You can actually take, like we can come in here, and we can pull all of these all the way down, and you can leave it in this state. Well, while I'm here, you see I still left the ones with the green boxes on them. Remember to just turn those off if you're not going to actually be using them. Because if you on one page and you select green on all of them, then you move to the second page to finish the look, you forgot that you left the ones on the first page, they're going to change when you change the back. Particularly if you're trying to make these red and these blue, or whatever mixture you want them to be. So you can pull these all the way down, and they appear to be off, but the power is still up there too.
Got it, so it's the power on, not necessarily the lights on. I was like, wait a minute, what's the bulb?
Yeah, and then just remember, if you do come in, and you actually have these all turned off, that one's gonna hit twice. And you turn all of them off, right? If you come back in and you want to just walk in and have all your lights on like a normal preset one, when you hit preset 1, you can hear they just turned back on. They're programmed to come back on, and that's when I was saying, if you're re-recording something, make sure your power level is on when you actually record something.
Got it. What's the life of the bulbs in there?
There are no bulbs. They're LED.
Oh, this is LED.
They're all LED.
Yeah, that was part of it too.
And you have a 2-year warranty on all of this stuff. For the manufacturer warranty on all this stuff is 2 years. And if you have any issues with those, you should reach out to Miles, and Miles will go through the
Actually,
process.
reach out to the district, reach out to.
There you go.
Lori or myself, and then we'll get mine.
There you go. There's a couple other things. There's file stuff I'm going to show you that you're probably not going to get to it. Settings. You have just general settings. It tells us that the location is in Jacksonville. It tells us some other information. You're probably not going to need that unless you're talking to somebody on tech support. And again, it's going to probably be you or Bill. It's information they need to know. These actually have the ability to make timed events that you could have the lights turn on and turn off at certain times. Y'all will probably never use those. Most schools don't. Don't show it to the students. They're going to try to figure it out. But that's what it knows. If you're doing anything on an astronomical time, that's how it knows what time the sun sets and sun rises. Is because of that actual information right there. You'll also have network information if you ever put this onto a network. It's not right now, and it probably never will be, but these can be networked in. Not to go out to the internet, but we can add other fixtures that are network capable. If you added them in the future, this could link to those fixtures. It's always on a closed system, particularly in the school systems. We never connect to the outside world. If you guys want to, you can, but we never do. Your security tab is going to give you some other things. You can turn little boxes on that come on over here. Right now, the only one I'll leave on for you guys is record, and the one that gives you the control over the light colors and stuff like that. If you wanted to take the record off of this is where you would do it. You would just uncheck record, which is that one, and you're going to see it goes away. And you could do that if you wanted to prevent kids from coming and re-recording stuff. It's fine, as long as you know how to turn it back on in case you need to use it. Okay? And that's up to you guys if you want to leave it on or off. I do leave the one on that says current map button, and I'm going to show you what that is in a minute. Default page, it tells you right now it's the preset and power. If you wanted to change your default page, you could change it to one of the other pages if you wanted to make that one the one that it wakes up to. Spaces you won't need to deal with. Time clock, again, if you got into making timed events, this is information you'll need for that. I don't think y'all ever will use that. And you can just hit done on that. when I was telling you about patching, I've already patched it for you guys. You don't need to repatch it unless you absolutely know what you're doing and changing fixture numbers and stuff like that. But that's where you'd go to in your patch. And so patch wise, I can see that these are different devices and set to their addresses. And that's how I know that channel number 1 is address number 1. Channel number 2 is actually address number 6. Channel number 3 is address number 11, and so on and so forth through the whole thing. So you're gonna have 13 channels for the light fixtures themselves, and you're gonna have 4 channels, 1 for each of these relays. These I put at 21, 22, 23, and 24. Those all run 1 to 13. There is a gap in there. It doesn't hurt it to have the gap in there. I just kind of keep these separated in case you add a couple more fixtures. We already got the gap to fill in, right? Because you may at some point, you actually have less lights here than you have at the other stage, and this stage is twice as big. You've got good coverage, but I could see in the future y'all might say, hey, can we get some more of these lights? Just try to get the same type of lights, same thing. They will need to be patched in here. Our tech support can walk you through the process. Our manuals are downloadable online for anything. We actually have a manual for this. We have a manual for each of the fixture types. And there's actually video tutorials on this if you want to learn how patching and all works. There are video tutorials online. Our website is etcconnect.com. That is 2 C's.
She said she'll give us the information.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's just menu items that you scroll through to get to training, and in training there'll be video tutorials, and this is called Echo Touch. And there is a whole segment on it. There is actually a version of the software you can download on your laptop and play around with programming it on your laptop, and then you have to just put it onto a thumb drive and you load the thumb drive.
Even an
We'll,
app,
we'll
right?
get to that in a minute.
I think I have an app. There's an app with it.
There's not an app for
No,
this
I
one.
must have the app for this
They're
then.
working on an app for this.
Okay.
It isn't out yet. Our bigger programmable one, there's an app to it. You need to be on Wi-Fi to use it and stuff like that. That's all you need to know in your patching. You don't want to delete anything. If you do delete it, it's going to stop talking to the fixtures.
Good.
Right? Files is your next one that you really need to know is going to be if you make any changes that you want to keep there after you've recorded, like if you do change the colors and you record it, come into your file setup and just hit save. It's going to keep saving it back to this particular show file that's in here. This is current as of today with me. I've got a copy of this. If you make any changes after I leave, they're not going to be on my copy, but I can always get you back to this as a base program. And then you just have to remember what changes you've made, and you can carry on from there. If you want to do it to a thumb drive to keep as your own backup copy, come back to your show files again, and this time you're going to use import or export. If you're putting it to the thumb drive, you're going to be exporting it. If you make changes on your computer, you're going to put it back in. When you put it on the thumb drive, it's going to create a folder called shows. That's where you're going to go look for it. This will automatically look for it if it's already in the thumb drive. When you do it on your laptop, it'll automatically create that folder. Makes it really easy for you. The biggest key to it is to get to the thumb drive. There's magnets on the bottom of this and a clip on the top. You take the bottom out, and you don't even have to take it all the way out. Hang on 1 second.
Thank you.
You're gonna see there's a USB port right underneath there. Right? You can do it without taking this all the way out, just put it in there. The screen will come all the way off. Oops, sorry. The screen will come all the way off, but you gotta worry about the cables that are on the back of it. They can come unplugged. There's 2 cables that plug into it, one for power and one for the data going out to the fixtures. You would do that for importing and exporting. Excuse me. Unlike with a computer, you don't have to go in and eject the drive. Just when you finish it, make sure that the load is finished and just simply unplug it. And then, one last little thing we talked about that I want to show you is, let me clear out of this. You'll see right now that this is your home page. I told you that I leave the one on there that shows the layout mode. If you come into here, it's going to show you, the channel map, not the layout mode. In your channel map, these are the fixtures that you have out there. These are your 4 powers. And then these are your fixtures. We could actually move these into the same layout that they're in. So to do that, we're going to go Setup, Layout Mode, and it's going to give us a grid. We're gonna make a little bit more room on the top. And we're gonna put in, we can actually leave gaps in there. Let me try to do this, it's probably a little better. So we are going to, can everybody see what's actually happening there? And what we're gonna do, come on. Okay. Does take patience. We'll come back in. Sometimes you move faster than it wants to move. You gotta let it catch up to itself. Come on. Come on, Joe. So that's how your layout is now, right? And it'll just hold us now as long as we leave it out. Once we hit done, it's gonna hold it. You can actually select so remember I was selecting the top of each row when we were doing it before? You could actually select them here or deselect them here, right? If you grab them all here, you can use this to change their levels, but you still have to come back over here to change their colors. It's much better for you to do it on the faders because then you're remembering what's what and where it actually is located. Because the top of the tab will tell you it's the house pipe or whatever. But this is a way you can come in and turn it back off. You'll probably never go back to this, but it can be useful for you guys if you're troubleshooting stuff like, why do my lights keep changing and you forgot you left them on? If you're looking at this, it's real evident to see them. You can also, just like on an iPad, you can zoom in on these. And once you zoom in big enough, it'll tell you the levels that they're at. It's still easier to change those levels on the fader page. Okay, on that fader page, let's go to a fader page. On that fader page, that's your percentages on the second box. And you can move these around. If you're trying to get things exactly like at a certain level, like if you wanted this one to be exactly at 50, you could do it with your finger or with a tool like this and play around with it. Or you could simply tap on it and type in 50. And just remember, back out whatever's there and then hit your 50 and it'll set it exactly at 50. And it's pretty quick when you get used to doing that. If you're going through the whole chain of them, you could do all 7 of these in about 25 seconds. And again, if we don't want to record that, save that, we just go back to the preset and it's taking it back to the levels we had it. And just remember, record. So I'm going to show you if you were making changes. We're not going to actually make them. But now remember, we were just on preset 1. If I come back, preset 1, the illuminated part of it went away, right? If you hit record, it's going to flash red. If I touch 1 right now, I would re-record that. And remember, there is no back button. You can't undo. Okay, so you have to go back and fix what you changed and come back to where it was. If you've changed something on all the pipes, all of the pages, you're probably not going to remember what you changed. So just be careful what you do. If you wait 8 seconds, it's going to stop flashing, which means now you're safe to hit 1. You're not going to record. Okay, if you are still in red and you don't want to wait the 8 seconds, go, I changed my mind, hit the record button again. Don't hit another button that's going to record over.
Would it be smart just to keep all 7 presets and then just use 8 to switch to whatever we want? Just only switch 8 and use your presets?
You can, but I always like that. Leave somebody, you can choose any one of them to do that. I like to leave 8 as an off preset so that you have the ability, somebody sees off and they're walking off the stage, they can hit off and they know all the lights are going to go off. If not, if you have it recorded with something else, they're going to keep going, how do I turn the lights off? You guys might remember, but you might have somebody using the stage for a day and then they're going to, well, I have to leave the lights on because I don't know how to turn them off. The reality is all you have to do is tap one that's already active and you'll see they're going to go off. Not everybody will know that. So. If you have something active and you deselect it, if you select another button, it's just going to change to the next one. Yeah. But if you deselect one that's already selected, it will.
Number?
That's quite often what we do is a street address. Yeah. But if you lock it out and then you don't know how to get back in it, it's locked out. There's a whole process you have to go through these to totally flush their memory and then reload the show to what I have today to get it unlocked. So just be careful if you do that. And that's on that security page. Any questions?
Right
Any
now,
questions
my
on the fixtures?
knowledge base is right there on that home screen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have, on these, we don't have like a phone number and stuff like that on it, and a job number. But you do have a question box. If you hit that check mark and it's red, and you hit another button, it's gonna tell you what, you know, what those items are. So these are page items, and it'll tell you how to go in and change them from preset to whatever. That stuff y'all won't really need to get into. If you wanted to add more, you'd have to worry about your spacing, but you could add more if you wanted to. You go into setup, you go into the layout mode, and it'll give you the option of adding items. So we're not gonna add it, but if we go add an item, we'd be adding a preset. You just need to make sure you select which one you're adding, because you're already at 8. So you'd come back to preset 9, right? And we're gonna hit check. I'm gonna delete it in a minute. So you'll see it added up here. You'd move it to where you wanted it to be. But you're gonna have to shift everything to make it fit right. And so that's you know, up to you guys if you wanted to add more of them. You probably not. Most people only have 4 and an off, but you can add them as many as you want. You can actually add another page if you wanted to.
How would we sync lights to music?
This does not do
It
that.
doesn't do that? Okay.
We're gonna remove
You said there's a strobe one on there though, right?
Yep, so if you wanted to use your strobe, let's go back to that. So just like you would use, let's pull one that we're gonna be able to see. It's gonna be one of the middle ones out there, and will be the middle one out there. So just like you would use your color picker on here, instead of your color picker, you're gonna go to, I believe it is under beam. Yep, so if you're under beam, you're gonna go to strobe, which is number 2, and it'll say strobe on it. And then to make it strobe faster, just like I did with the other one, I'm gonna do it this a little bit. Once you touch it, it's gonna have a little green arrow. It's gonna pop up, right? And then move up, and it's gonna increase your number. And the higher the number, up to 255 is full. It'll stop strobing at 255. Come on, get out of the way. And that is at 217. You can see it strobing. And it will go faster. As you get closer to like 253 or something, it's gonna go faster. 254, 255, it's gonna stop.
Be cool. Just have, we have the little glow party stuff to have the stage kind of flashing. It would look
Yeah,
really cool.
I had it doing it earlier today just so I could test them all. And if you take all of these fixtures, you probably would want, if you're leaving them focused on the back curtain, you probably wouldn't want to do those, but do all the other ones that are actually on the deck.
Right.
That's 11 of them. Just put them at different levels, different times, so they're randomly
That'd be
strobing and not just all hitting once.
I got you.
And it's gonna be hard to get them all to do it at the same time unless you're programming into a preset.
Right.
Because what'll happen is, as you start one, by the time you move to the other one and you bring it to the same level, they're already out of sync.
Yeah.
But if you put them all at like 250, and then at 250, you record that, the next time you hit the preset, they're gonna all start at roughly the same time, and it'll be a lot closer.
Makes sense.
And then again, what you just wanna do is deselect. You can deselect it there, or like I was doing up here earlier, I've already deselected it. Just, there's multiple ways you can select and deselect. Remember, if you see that green box, it's selected, and anything you change is gonna change that. We don't want to record that, so we're going to go back to preset 1. And, oh, no, I lied to you. I just turned preset 1 off. And I probably left that one off when I deselected it. You got to put it back onto that open state. Remember, I showed you the open instruction. So we're going to go back to that guy. Select him again. Come back into here. And make sure he's in the open state. He's back on. And then deselect him. And he's back on. Any other questions?
What was the name of that system again? You said Echo?
It's an Echo Touch.
Echo Touch.
Is the actual model that this one is, and it's an Echo Touch controller.
Gotcha.
It's part of the Echo system. We have a system called Echo. The fixtures and all fit into that system. It's how we can control them. For your video, if you're trying to get to the website, it's etcconnect.com. and then you just surf it all around and stuff like that.
That would be where I would go. Say, after I watch this, I'm already done a bunch of questions. I'm sure I'll have. So questions about questions. Like, is that where we go to get those answered, or?
Yeah, if you go to etcconnect.com, like I said, if you go look at the Echo Touch,
Because he said the manual's
they,
on there.
the manual's on there, and there's video
tutorials.
tutorials. The video
And Miss
tutorials are
Lori
awesome.
said that she
Yeah.
would send us
Nice.
the link.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Yeah,
she's
the-
already sent it to me.
I emailed her first and I.
Like you said, with the patching, if it's,
They're fixture specific.
mm-hmm,
Even in the fixture, they're mode specific.
mm-hmm,
These are all in the 5-channel mode. Then it's channel specific and address specific. If you change any one of those
You want me
things,
to look at the
it's
video
gonna
tutorial for it?
it's gonna affect the way the system functions.
got you.
And the only thing you really want to do that is if you were adding fixtures to this, you could add it into the patch. And then as long as you know what the fixture is and the mode it's in, you just add it, it'll add a channel and it'll add the address that you need to put it on.
They're out of England, and if you look for Allen and Heath, their YouTube channel, and you look for this specific device, which is a QPAC, because they have many devices, a series of mixers. They do specifically little 2 to 3 minute snippets on whatever you're trying to gain more information on. Now I'm going to give you the rundown on it today, but if you want to dive deeper, and there's a network jack on the back of this, so essentially with a tablet and no worries, specifically a tablet, the QPad, they call it PAD. Is the app that can remote control this device. However, you've got to have that wireless router in play. So your tablet talks to the router, and the router's connected to this. If y'all need more information on that, that's something that we can provide. If there's a house network already here, there's no current network that I know of in this rack, at least not for our stuff anyway. This is about the simplest audio system you can get. The only thing y'all really need to learn here is the mixer. This rocker switch here will shut the audio down in sequence and turn it on in sequence. Currently the system's on. I recommend turning it off, say on weekends and holidays. You know, if you're going to be gone for a week, I would shut it down.
Shut this whole thing down?
Well, so this rocker switch is only taking care of everything that we install.
Got it, Coach.
I can't speak to their equipment.
There's other components in there for the
Yeah.
video monitor.
Got it, okay.
And
Yeah.
that's that touch panel on the overside, so that,
Yeah.
he won't be addressing that, but eventually, once AnduVision's here, sound will be going through the system. That's why they gotta be here they haven't programmed it all yet.
Okay.
So they'll be out later next week to program that.
So give me a moment as I grab one of your microphones.
Oh, how many came with it, and it is, do we have a way to order more if need be? You get what
So-
I'm saying, like if one lost or break, how do we order more?
Yeah, so good question. And I'm looking to see, there's 2 headsets, but I have 1 transmitter. I'm gonna check the bottom of the rack. Or maybe I hit it too well. Yep, I did. There it is. Y'all shouldn't have to access the back of the rack. But you can. That's how we have to wire this thing. So to fully answer your question, y'all were provided with 2 current wireless channels, and 2 brand new stage inputs, which are actually in the same whole downstage center. You see up there a mic 1 and a mic 2. That's what I call hardwire, meaning you're gonna take like a standard handheld microphone with an XLR cable, plug it in there. If you plug it into mic 1, it's channel 1. If you plug it into mic 2, it's channel 2. And then 3 and 4 are your current wireless channels. Conveniently, actually, the channels themselves are 3 and 4. That has to do with the frequency that they're on. Y'all don't need to necessarily know all about that, but if you have questions, I can answer them. So, amplifier, you see one side on, one side off. This is actually a 4-channel amp. Somewhat irrelevant information to your daily operations, but you only have 2 channels active because you only have 2 speakers active. If y'all ever get to a point where you're adding like, say,
more speakers, like in the
more
cab.
speakers or stage monitoring, which wasn't a part of our original proposal, the 2 channels are available, so you don't necessarily need another amplifier for that. Again, on and off wireless receivers. This is one of your wireless transmitters.
Can we hook them up to phones like Bluetooth?
So there's nothing in this rack that has Bluetooth capability currently. Oh, there's a battery.
So you know what I'm asking, cause like say if we doing a glow party, how do you use these speakers? How
All
do you
right.
connect?
So, all right, let's
gonna
just
ask
talk
that.
about playing music for a minute. So, there's a number of ways for y'all to get signal into this mixer, and one of the most convenient ways for y'all, say a tablet or a phone, is right here on the face in the top right-hand corner. It's a little mini jack, they call it, 1/8 inch.
What's that?
Audio, but like you can plug
The
that
red
right
and yellow
into.
cord?
No,
Is it
like,
auxiliary- is it auxiliary
yeah,
cord or
it's like
something?
auxiliary, yeah.
See, the problem with that, most cell phones don't do it anymore.
Well, most cell phones now have another adapter that you have to buy.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Yes, they used to have one of these. But that's the type of cable that this particular input takes, and is the easiest way for y'all to get music into the system. Now,
So if a DJ was here and then they wanted to use their sound system, they'd have to actually hardwire into it.
yeah, well,
We got a hard
yes,
Right?
yeah. So, fun.
Which sucks because
Fun
I
fact.
use the app on my iPad when we
But
do
you could, well,
like
so
put
with the
the safety control
iPad,
dances.
well, let me ask you a question, do the iPad have the adapter that we could buy? Cause we got iPads up there in the other room, we could get one of those iPads and dedicate it to this program. So that's why I was asking, what cords do I need to buy with the iPad?
So can you do a USB as well? Cause I see that under it.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're really diving deep now.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's definitely worth talking about. This is a USB port. USB, if you have audio on a USB, it can be played from this port. However, there is a setting that would have to be altered for that specific purpose.
I think we just need to get a tablet to dedicate to this.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying just a music source, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so any tablet, even if it has a particular adapter, if you can get it out to this connection here, you would hit your channel button, which is the yellow button here. By the way, this is a touchscreen. So there's some tabs up top. Specifically in this case, we're looking for the stereo tab. Also, there are some other things on this page, but this jack here is ST3, and I think, I must have put it on your, I'll get to that in a second. Yep, okay, I'll get to that in a moment. See what I did, but this stereo 3, you get audio into here, and then you select it and you turn it up and down. So, to that point, when I select the channel I'm trying to affect or turn up and down, I'm going to select that. Well, I need to be on that tab. You see how, and sorry if you can't quite see it, I actually now realize maybe we should lower this a couple spots. But I wasn't sure what was going to happen down here. So you see these lights change here at the bottom. So this is my quick select, right? So I don't have to touch the screen to turn up mic 1. But if I select, say, wireless 1, let's turn one of these on real quick.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Now, I'm glad you're talking about that. While I hook this mic up. So with Bluetooth, you still have to have like a receiver, right? So, and that receiver has an audio output, and that audio output still has to get into our mixer, right? So you could have a Bluetooth receiver plugged into this jack.
That old one right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Use that. We got two of them.
That looks like, so are you saying that that little mixer there has Bluetooth capability?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got two of them.
So you could output that, you could output from there, basically. So if I need more, I can turn it up. Or if I need less, I can turn it down. And now you see me affecting this when I turn. And that, every time I select a channel, this rotary here becomes my volume. So if I want to, in a moment, we will plug in downstage that device and see if we can't get some music out of there. I will have to say though,
I know the perfect song.
we'll have to say though, we may have to make a gain adjustment. So if you really want to dive a little deeper, let's select mic number 1. Actually, let's dedicate number 2 to it and leave mic 1 available for like a hardwire. Yeah, for like a hardwire. Say you have a presentation downstage and you just have a regular old stand and a mic. Let's leave 1 available. What I'm getting at is, this is another feature here. If we hit this processing tab, so now depending on what channel I'm looking at, I have more features at my fingertips, right? Very specifically here,
Combination box. We
the
can keep
gain.
that we can keep here, and then certain people have the combination that you can get to the microphone. That. But the reason I said a combination lock, so then that way when if somebody needs key or whatever, as long as you know the combination, we can get in. And then that way you keep all that equipment in there. So you don't have to worry about getting lost or kids touching or getting misplaced. So after, you can put that on serious.
Is anything gonna be here to cover these?
I'm actually, that's part of, I've got a box full of blanks. Yeah, yeah.
So he said this, like, this will be covered, so we can.
But can it lock?
So there, no, not currently.
That's why I was saying you need.
Not currently.
If you get a
No.
combination box to put in here, you can still put that down and they can't see it. But I'm telling you, at Enterprise and all the other schools that had stuff similar to this, your microphones and stuff come up missing.
Yeah, well, to that point, these mics and these headsets, y'all can stash those anywhere you like.
Drawer in my office.
And
But what if you're not here?
You guys
well,
still get in there.
I'll let y'all hash that out. But speaking of locking, this board does have permissions, and it can be password protected. I say board out of habit, this mixer here. So that's another feature if you want to implement it, that no one could like play with these settings unless they had that password. I haven't been doing that unless, yeah, okay, no worries. It's totally fine. So, did they get that thing hooked up down here?
Mr. Mack,
The sound system thing?
Yeah.
So what we want to hook it into one of those two on the floor.
So
And then leave our microphones open as well.
valid point. Thank you for saying that. If you were to bring that output into here, then we wouldn't have to be talking about the microphone. Okay. But as we're talking about the mic,
That doesn't even have to be over there. It could be sitting right here.
yeah, it doesn't even have to be. You're
I'm
right.
saying we could just run it to that plug right there.
Well, there's
Made it a lot
many
easier.
types.
Adapters.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cables and adapters.
Like back in the day, it was a Radio Shack.
Yeah, Radio Shack. I know about Radio Shack. I'm not that young. This is my point. When I select a channel, I have something called input gain. Okay, so most hardwire microphones need a significant amount of gain. Again, this being a touchscreen, I can select that gain and I can adjust it accordingly, right? So you see that little red knob turning there. All right. Most microphones need. Most standard handhelds are going to take about 30 to 40 dB of extra juice, if you will. When I'm dealing with a line level signal, I probably really need that about 0 to 10, depending on what I'm. Yeah, because if I send that signal to this mixer at 30 dB, it's probably going to be distortion, just straight what I call redlining. And you'll see signal. You actually have a meter here. Multiple meters are metering different things, but this meter right here will show you that input signal. So I wanted to make sure y'all understand that gain affects the signal coming into the mixer, and I can adjust that accordingly depending on what signal I have. Most mics require more. Now, fun fact, if we look at our, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back to normal mic level, give or take. If we look at our wireless, we see they're there at 0. And that's because I'm outputting at a healthy level. I like that word as far as signal is concerned. But I'm giving the mixer a lot of signal from here, right? So the same thing applies if I turn this mic on. I had it on actually. I had it on, but I had the fader down. There we go. There's my fader. Okay. So that's my fader. But let's go back to the gain real quick. Right. So as I start to turn this thing up, you can hear me get significantly louder. Well, clearly I don't need that much, but I also don't need too little either. So I'm living around that mark. And
There you go.
you can adjust accordingly. So don't feel like you can't make adjustments here, and I think I will lower this a couple
So
spots.
this is telling us what the level is. Right?
Coming into, yes.
Okay.
And 0, by the way, in audio world, 0 doesn't mean nothing. It actually means more of a nominal level. But when you talk about decibel and gain, well, actually, decibel can be
I'm just texting myself.
a different topic. But when we talk about input gain, it's going to have a number related to that. And the higher that number, the stronger that signal.
Okay.
Yep. Moving on in that processing block, there's gating, which you'll never use. I can talk about that if you're curious. There is equalization, which is totally, it's always a recommended tool. I always like to encourage people to use that if necessary. As it can change the tonality of my microphone.
Because right now you sound real tinny.
Yeah, well,
And there's a little bit of reverb.
yeah, well, and that's probably a lot of room that we're in.
Yeah.
But let's say I got too much go in. I can take some out, and I probably sound unnatural right now. That number is you can alter that number. This is just extreme here, but you know, yeah, and the same thing would apply if I were to raise this. I could do all kinds of crazy stuff and change. But this is all dependent upon the voice and who's talking. And clearly I don't need that much low frequency. I don't even know exactly where I had it, 200. Yeah, well, so
No, he said that chord.
that I think there's a line you think you have. If we want to test that,
adapter, or
I can go look and see.
want me to look see if I have one here? And then
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so we can go ahead.
Would
and
any of
just
these
at
work
least
right here?
I don't mind testing
None of
that.
these.
Because we want to go to,
Yes, right here. See this?
right, we want to come out with that and go down to this back here. This is what I got.
The smaller one, right? I got you. I might have one off, but you know you have it, right?
We can purchase that might have YouTube, the different music apps already on. Then you could get the adapter power cord, and then that's when you go back to having that lock box.
Yeah.
That all that stuff is in there for the program.
Would that be like the right one here?
Yeah, but it's wrong gender on that side. We would need the opposite.
Say a joke there.
Yeah. No, that's what they call them. Yes, they are genders. And you can't put two of the same together.
So coach,
That's fine. That's fine. He's going to get the cord for that.
He's gonna check if he has another line. And
it just sound like we would do better with just getting a tablet.
yeah, something
I'm telling you,
dedicated to the
something
calls.
and dedicated just to y'all. It's so many little cheap tablets out now that you can get just with.
You just have it connected right here all the
Yeah,
time.
and that's why I kept saying, I told Miss Walker, I want like a pretty large lock box that everybody here in this training get the code. Right, and then we'll give the same, keep your mics, your headsets, because I'm telling y'all, when I was at Enterprise, that stuff came up missing
Yeah.
all the time.
I've got like 4 mics in my drawer in there.
Yeah, but would they work with this?
So
Could be that through there. That way.
Oh, and then I want, and then I want to know how to order other things. That's why I was asking if you can give us, like, if I need to order another headset, or if I need to
Yeah.
order another mic, how to order.
Yeah, a good question. I don't deal with the sales side of the equation. However, and this may be dependent upon the school, but so my superior deals with proposals, numbers on equipment. But it would likely be DCPS reaching out to us.
To the
Now,
lady
you-
that just left.
you
That's
could-
Laura, right?
You could contact us directly for sure. I can leave you with our office number.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably didn't give you a card when we were here during install, but I should have one in my bag,
Okay.
which is somewhere around here. Oh, you know what?
If not, I can email, I've got to email you with the annual.
Unless you just need to dial something in, I call it. So changing equalization or whatever. Gain especially, right? So that gain's very important. We just want to make sure our signal is strong, but not too strong, and also not too weak either. Channel button's your friend, because the channel button's going to take you to, if you look at the far right tab, it says custom. And what's cool about that is y'all probably have a gap of channels here that you may not utilize regularly. So what I've done is on this custom, if you select that, you'll see we have our ST3. Yeah, mini jack
From mini
to quarter.
to quarter.
Yeah, channel on that page, so you don't have to go change into another tab.
Don't go.
So what channel is it?
So it's actually 15 currently.
Okay.
I can make that any one of those.
Don't matter.
It don't matter, we just
Yeah.
wanna know what it is.
Well, yeah, and how about we call this? Well, it only has 6 characters, so we'll just call it BT for
Okay,
now.
Bluetooth, yep. Channel 15?
And so, again, you want to turn that up a bit? You can turn it up a bit. If I still don't have enough, I can give the mains a little more. Alright? And now we're probably waking up the neighbors, right? If you find that you're maxing out your main and your channel, so if I have to turn, if this isn't enough for you, yeah, exactly. Well, and actually, valid point. Thank you for doing that, because that output will affect this input, right? So if I can make an adjustment down there, so maybe I don't need to turn these up all the way.
So I'm trying to say, y'all better say bye-bye soon, or y'all will get in traffic.
So to that point, as I'm working that line at the connector end, it's aged a bit.
But we can get a.
That-
We can get a new one, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
just personally
uncommon.
I just personally think we probably need to get a tablet. I do.
So to that point, okay, either source you use, that's up to y'all. But either way,
When Coach and I have done it before for the patrols, I brought my tablet from home and it's got a DJ app on it.
No, that's
So
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
walk around and while you're DJing, you don't have to be standing right here the whole time you're DJing.
Yeah, but if you go ahead and like pre-select your songs, you just hit play and then it go.
Yeah, you can just create a playlist.
So,
But
or
if
how
you
about
wanna have
this?
some
Based on
fun
whatever
and
y'all want, do both.
have some fun and take some requests and we can, that kind of stuff, then you need to be able to be mobile.
But that's what I'm saying. We can do either or. If you already
Yeah.
have it and you want to do phone, you the old stuff. If we already have like our preset songs, we can use the tablet that I'm gonna purchase. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Either way.
I'm gonna do both.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yep, y'all do what you